addressing the red letter media claim that producers of The Mummy targeted China. Foreign markets, specifically China. There's some problems with that theory, and although the foreign market did do very well and they did make a lot of money from the foreign market, there's also no statements on which foreign market it was on Wikipedia or Box Office Mojo. There's no Chinese actor in the film. They do make a good point that foreign films did like Marvel Cinematic Universe. They did like Batman, Superman. But Batman, Superman, Marvel have been around for a while. Then again, so have the Universal Monsters. And it's sort of weird, too. Like, if you have Universal Monsters, does anyone outside of, like, the Universal theme park crowd really know it? I don't think it's that popular in China. And there's not a lot of Chinese elements in that, unlike the previous Mummy film, The Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. That would be a film that targets Chinese people. A Chinese audience. There's pretty much nothing Chinese in this film. Look at what else was said in the article, in the comments of the video. Like, the Marvel Cinematic Universe also did well in America. So there's also that to think about. It's very odd that Universal's Monsters didn't do well, or the Dark Universe didn't do well in America. But that was because they screwed it up. I think their attempt was to make it an American franchise. Because, like, there's none of the actors for it are American. Or Chinese, sorry. That takes a long to load. Let me see. Some stuff made sense, like, it's very producer, but, like, overall I didn't think it was that bad of a film either. I think they bought into the media hype like Ghostbusters did, not to mention they mentioned before that, in their best ofs at the end of the year, that they have to do videos based on what's popular, based on what's trending, based on what's popular on YouTube. So they obviously have to cover this topic, and they cover it like 99% of the video compared to actually talking about the movie, which they say very little about. This is really the first comment. I've been on Twitch for a while. A lot of foreign people like American films just because the Pax Americana and the fact that they're all over the place. A lot of places speak English. On Twitch, they speak English to make sure they get the money from the American crowd. The American market is really big. A lot of people like Nostalgia Critic. He speaks English. Oh, there's a big translated video of Silent Rob in China. He's American. I felt like they didn't do the proper research for this video on The Mummy. And I sort of don't care, because although sometimes they make good points, their main point is to entertain. And I think, it's weird. I don't know why I give them a slap on the wrist and not so much Nostalgia Critic. But, like, they have so much original good content. Like, it's so much better than when Nostalgia Critic all the time references Wikipedia and gets it wrong and then just quotes what they say. I feel at least they're giving their own interpretation of how it worked out that the foreign market did very well for The Mummy. Because I definitely don't think there was... Like, obviously, if you're a producer, you can't just say, let's just market to China. Otherwise, you just make a Chinese movie. Otherwise, you have Chinese producers doing the movie. Like, if you're American, you do American stuff and then try and figure out what the Chinese people did. Chinese people like. People are claiming that Transformers did so well in China. Transformers also did very well in America. A lot of people like Transformers and Megan Fox. They're all popular culture in America, although not brought up as often, oddly enough, which is very ironic. On YouTube, with the snobby crowd, such as myself, they don't really praise Transformers. And you don't see a lot of them. At least I don't pay attention to the crowds that really pay attention to liking Transformers a lot. I don't see it a lot on TV. But a lot of people do make the joke that people make Transformers films just because everybody watches them. Which is... makes sense. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what else it is. I have sources from China that even said that the film was actually... I don't know what it said, but I have sources from China that said the movie was subbed in Chinese. So I don't know if they actually changed the dialogue, but if they did, they didn't change it in America, which is unlike what they said. I mean, if they didn't check Wikipedia and Box Office Mojo, and then not follow up on research as to documents and press releases, like, normally they do a lot of press releases. Not necessarily press releases, but press videos that show the mentality and the evidence that they were going to the Chinese market and stuff. But they didn't really show it in this video that they did for Half in the Bag on The Mummy. In addition, I think the religious crowd from the Middle East would like The Mummy because it has to do with The Mummy. It has to do with Egypt. That would definitely be a demographic. People will like stuff like that. The Mummy is played by Algerian, which is somewhat in that area, although not quite. Again, so is Egypt, but not quite. That's about it. I lost my thought. I'm trying to figure out which is the worst cameo this year. And so far, all that comes to mind is Jason David Frank and Amy Jo Johnson in Power Rangers the movie. Power Rangers Professor, of course. And, I'm trying to figure out what else. Logan, I couldn't really figure out a cameo, because it's not really that kind of movie anyway. Guardians, I don't remember the cameo. And I don't think it was that bad. Can't remember it off the top of my head, though. And I don't really know what other movies could have a cameo. Kong Skull Island didn't have a cameo. Shoot, there'd be so many cameo movies. It's driving me nuts. I was going to go check 2017 in film, but maybe just checking Half in the Bag will make it a quicker search for like which mainstream movies might have had a cameo. Alien, I don't think had a cameo. If they did, that'd be very embarrassing. They had one at the end of Prometheus, I guess. They've made 151 Half in the Bag videos. Go figure. They haven't made that many Half in the Bags. Only like 6 this year. It's gonna bother me. Anyway, comment below if you can figure out which was the worst cameo of 2017 so far.